Most people are content to have a dog or cat for a pet. Those who are slightly more adventurous might opt for a bird or a turtle, but still others decide to adopt animals that are widely considered dangerous. From massive reptiles to carnivorous cats, we are looking at the 10 most unusual pets in the world. A 65-year-old truck driver from Texas is the unlikely owner of 2 bears and a tiger. The bears are named Pebbles and Bam Bam, and the white tiger is called Anushka. Hart bought her 6-year-old white tiger 4 years ago from a friend, but when it came to Pebbles and Bam Bam, the bears followed Hart's dog home a few years ago. I thought they were dogs, and as they got closer, I was like, holy moly, they're bears, she said. Hart spends up to $1,500 per month feeding her pets candy, beef, pork, and chicken. And although she treats them like her furry friends, she's armed with a taser and tranquilizers. They are exotic. They're dangerous animals, Hart said. These bears have been around a lot of people. They don't know the tricks. They don't know sit, lie down on the box, or whatever, but you can get in there and you can love on them, and you can pet them. I've socialized them a lot. While her friends and 4 grandchildren are free to interact with the animals, Hart said she's not afraid to use force if her pets try to harm her loved ones. Of course, many animal rights activists have pointed out that owning top predators like bears and tigers is amoral, but that hasn't prevented this granny from participating in the exotic animal trade. Weighing in at a modest 1,400 kilograms, Jessica the hippopotamus considers herself a human, with dogs as her best friends. A movie star with her own fan club and webpage, she loves rooibos tea and has several suitors. The hippo was a mere 16 kilograms when she was found a few hours old on the banks of the Blythe River near Hoedspruit, with her umbilical cord still attached. Frail and weak, she couldn't stand up, and now at 18 years old, she has become one of the country's most renowned tame animals. I see her as a dear friend, but more like a child, game ranger and human daddy Tony Jobert told a local news outlet near his home in Johannesburg, South Africa. With a background as a ranger, Tony Jobert knew exactly what he needed to do to get Jessica vital again with success. Though Jessica is free to travel wherever she would like to go, again and again she chooses her house in suburban South Africa. It is believed that hippos are some of the most dangerous and fearsome creatures in Africa, and there are many accounts of hippos attacking people who invade their space or disrupt their routines. With this animal, this is definitely not the case, since she loves interactions with humans, and she displays mind-boggling characteristics, which makes us wonder about our approach toward wild animals. While most people tend to use their garden as a place of relaxation, Janice Haley chooses to use her backyard as a place to keep her 2 pet tigers. Saber, a 600-pound male white Bengal tiger, and Jonda, a 400-pound orange Bengal female, live in a cage in the back of Miss Haley's unassuming suburban home in Orlando, Florida. Each day, the 57-year-old hand feeds the tigers, as well as stroking and feeding them, and says Saber, the younger tiger, can't get off to sleep without suckling on her finger. Mrs. Haley quit her job as an administrative assistant to spend more time working outdoors around 20 years ago, and then took a tiger training course, which she spotted in her local newspaper. 2 years later, she arrived home with Chuffer the tiger cub and was immediately bitten by the tiger bug. In 2002, she bought Jonda, who is now 12, to live with Chuffer. After Chuffer's death in 2007, she then introduced Saber, who was only 2 weeks old at the time. Of course, this is controversial, but Haley has a defense. People who consider it cruel to keep them in captivity have a point, conceded Haley. It is not the ideal place for a tiger to be, in a cage, but at this point in the wild, there isn't a lot of hope out there for them anymore. And if there aren't some of them left in cages, there aren't going to be any left at all in a couple of years from now. They are provided for and loved here. In my opinion, I wouldn't mind being a tiger in my backyard. Pinky Janetta, better known as the Monkey Mom, is 53 years old and has a passion for our primate relatives. She even went to the extent of treating them like her own children and dressing them up every day. The 53-year-old owns 3 rescued rhesus macaques, 1 bonnet, and 2 marmoset monkeys, all with names influenced by cosmetic brands, including Maybelline, L'Oreal, Avon, and Max. The primates have all proven the truth behind the phrase monkey see, monkey do by mimicking their owner's behavior. Pinky spends her days teaching her monkey kids sign language, feeding them on a high chair, changing their diapers, bottle feeding them, and bathing them. She said, "I would consider myself a mother to these monkeys, the alpha monkey mom." Maybelline was sick the other day, so it was like any other child. At that point, she just wanted to be held. We are teaching them sign language. Maybelline has 9 words down. The other 3 are learning slowly. All the monkeys were rescued from abusive situations. Normally, monkeys don't make good pets, but in this case, there was no other option. Janetta truly seems to love her primate friends. Kojak the crocodile lives in the backyard of a suburban home in Indonesia, where he lazes about in a baby pool, and he is nothing to trifle with. Kojak weighs more than 500 pounds and is more than 6 feet long. His owner said, "I've lived with the crocodile for a long time, about 20 years now. Automatically, he became part of my family. My family didn't feel disturbed by it and felt that it was unique having him in the family." Kojak spends his days in a small channel of water at the back of Irwan's garden. The family's washing hangs right next to it, and Irwan's 3 children are free to play ball games on the turquoise-green ceramic tiles parallel to the croc. Because he's been with the same family for 20 years, Kojak, according to Irwan, poses no threat to humans. In the whole time he's lived with Irwan, there have been no accidents or injuries, to humans at least. Irwan said, "When I first bought it from the fisherman's son, I got bitten on the hand. Since then, never again." However, Kojak's owner didn't know how to care for him. He put on an unhealthy amount of weight and was ultimately seized by an Indonesian conservation group. He now lives in a home that is better suited to his unique reptilian needs. Can you imagine your young child sleeping in the coil of a huge python? Not many parents can. But rice farmer Kuom Sam-ol and his wife are different. Their son Sambath not only plays with their huge pet python, but also hugs her and sleeps with her. A special bond between a snake and a human being may seem beyond belief, but this Cambodian family has lovingly adopted this Burmese python as a member of their household. The python, named Kamrian, is 16 feet long and weighs over 220 pounds. The boy and his snake have become a tourist attraction in Setbo village, about 12 miles south of the Cambodian capital of Phnom Penh, as well as a source of wonder to the locals. People sometimes call the boy and the snake husband and wife, said Cheng Raim, a 48-year-old neighbor. Maybe they were a couple from a previous life. The boy and the snake grew up together, ever since the python slithered into the family home when Warren Sambath was 3 months old. Tragically, the python reverted to its natural instincts and bit her brother on the leg. She was then taken away from the family and put into a zoo where she wouldn't harm any other humans. In a video posted on social media in 2016, Australian YouTube personality Jackson O'Doherty shares what it's like to be best friends with his kangaroo, Damien. The clip shows O'Doherty and his pet Joey on a number of zany adventures, including lively romps on the beach, trips to the playground, and even putting in a shift at the construction yard. The clip has been shared over 40 million times already, and even earned Jackson a small interview on national television. Jackson and his friends found little Damien abandoned on the road and decided to pick him up. Now the animal is in the hands of wildlife care, where it would certainly have professional attention, but maybe fewer trips to the beach. In the end, it was better for Damien, who has very specific needs as a full-grown marsupial. It's not the first time that O'Doherty has taken an unusual animal as a pet. Earlier this year, he posted a collection of everyday moments with a snake. This animal was also eventually given to the proper authorities, but that didn't stop O'Doherty from fully incorporating the animal into his life and even taking showers with him. DILLIE is a deer that has warmed the hearts of millions. She is extremely affectionate and has the ability to evoke emotion from everyone she meets. Melanie Butera has worked as a veterinarian for years, but nothing prepared her heart for the 3-day-old blind fawn a farmer brought to her emergency veterinary clinic. Abandoned by her mother, the newborn hadn't eaten since birth. No one thought she would survive. Butera and her husband Steve nursed the fawn, and against all odds, the deer survived. They named her DILLIE. Melanie doubted the deer would survive, but with the help of her husband Steve, she miraculously nursed DILLIE back to health. The tenacious deer quickly became a member of the family, running around the house with the dog, the cat, and the people, and enjoying all of the perks, including her own bedroom, plates of her favorite linguine, and swims in the family pool. DILLIE roams through the house as any dog would do. She knows how to push the light switch that turns on the overhead fan in her bedroom. She's also learned how to work the ice maker on the refrigerator, which had to be disabled so no one would slip and slide on the ice cubes all over the kitchen floor. She plays with the dogs and with the owners. In 2016, Alexander Dmitriev and his wife Maria decided to adopt a young cougar called Messi and raise him as a house pet. The couple, who reside in Penza, Russia, gave Messi a home in their small studio apartment after buying him in a nearby petting zoo for £2,600. Maria, 28, told the local news, "The first time we saw him in the zoo, I think we both had the same feeling toward this animal. It was such an excitement, such tenderness. Like, I don't know, it's impossible to grasp, but it was very strong. He's an amazing cat. It was clear he was different." The wild cat lives with the family in an apartment, uses the toilet twice a day, and only consumes meat. Messi's Instagram page has attracted over 538,000 followers, and the YouTube channel well over 155,000 subscribers. Meet Gypsy and Monaco, the bobcats living with a North Texas couple. The McAllisters were able to fulfill a lifelong dream of owning bobcats now that their 2 grown children have left home. Mick McAllister vividly remembers being 8 years old and asking his aunt if he could keep a baby bobcat he found in a nearby shed. Ever since then, Mick had a fascination with bobcats. McAllister and his wife Melissa got to fulfill a lifelong dream of owning bobcats of their very own. It was supposed to be just one, Melissa said in a video posted online, but they're learning to get along really well, and each month it gets a little bit better, she added. Bobcats are elusive wildcats native to the forests, swamps, and deserts of North America. They are roughly twice the size of a domestic cat and have large paws, tufted ears, and bobbed tails. The couple came across these animals by volunteering at a bobcat sanctuary and realizing that these creatures needed homes. The rest is history.